Dogs are a man's best friend, but they weren't always like this. Some descendants of wolves never really got domesticated as well as others. That's why we ended up with breeds as sweet as the golden retrievers and ones as deadly as the Bully Kutta. Many species are banned in countries because of how aggressive they can get. However, these animals are highly moldable, and much of their aggression depends on how they're trained and cared for. But until then, here are the most banned dog breeds in the world. Number 10. Paso Canario pero de presa. Canario, would you look at those cute puppies? Who would have thought such a sweet-looking pup would grow up to become such tyrants? Pero de presa, or presa canario, as they are often called, is a breed whose ancestry includes some input from the now extinct Bardario Majero, as well as some input from the English Mastiff. They were first in the Canary Islands. Despite their very daunting appearance, presa canario dogs are not aggressive by nature. However, that also doesn't mean you should just go over and pet them. These dogs are incredibly calm and collected, which is why guarding is the best thing they do. However, they do get jittery around strangers and unknown animals. Early socialization can help them cope with that. Even when these dogs remain on their more shaky side, if there's one thing you should know, it's that this breed is not for inexperienced owners. Number 09. Chow Chow. Chow Chows might look like a very huggable breed, but beware, they're very assertive beings. They're quite the fuzzball. Who wouldn't love them? While, in fact, this breed is known as a high-risk pet, since there were about 238 attacks between 1979 and 1998. They're very protective of their owners and definitely act out when they're not given the proper training or the right environment to play around in. You can never tell what you'll get with these fuzzballs. Some are shy, others are extremely outgoing and confident, and some have more aggressive behavior. Many states require the owners to carry special insurance in case things go awry. These dogs can reach up to 70 pounds, and if they don't get the physical stimulation they require, they might just attack, even their owners. Number 08. Rhodesian Ridgeback. The Rhodesian Ridgeback, also known as the African Lionhounds, has a line of fur going down their spine, which gives them their name. But that's a common fact. A lesser-known fact about them is that they originated in Africa and were used for hunting lions. They are a strong, muscular breed of the hound family, easily identified by their brown furs, for most of them, and used in hunting down games. This breed was so strong and determined that they were used to kill apex predators. The Rhodesian Ridgeback is a unique breed from a cross between the native South African rigid Khokoi dog and dogs brought to Africa by European settlers. Despite their lineage, they have a pretty even temperament as long as they're kept engaged and stimulated. Their energy levels are incredibly high, so they should never be left with young children without supervision. Another time they may become super aggressive is when young children get near their food. It's in their blood to protect their food, and since their prey drive is very high, they might mistake kids for small prey. It's just a matter of understanding the breed. Number 07. Doberman. When people talk about scary dog privileges, they usually look for a Doberman since they were initially bred to be intimidating. That's why you always see them in movies. The biggest reason for their aggression is the need to protect their owners. The Doberman's loyalty is exactly what makes them so dangerous, but so lovable at the same time. These dogs never hesitate to attack anyone they might even suspect to be a small threat. If they're not trained right, they'll definitely take matters into their own jaws and make sure you're behind them. It's common knowledge these highly intelligent dogs have found relevance in the military and police, but only a few know that they were first bred by an assessment collector named Louis Doberman, who produced the dog from a mixture of a good number of dog breeds. Number 06. Czechoslovakian. The Czechoslovakian Backlock, or CSV for short, might be a difficult breed to pronounce, but they're even harder to get along with. These creatures are a hybrid between the German Shepherd and Carpathian Wolf, and they definitely look like the wolf part. This primitive dog breed was developed in the 1950s to look like wolves in their body shape, movement, coat texture, facial markings, and coat color. Why? Because they needed tenacious and intelligent dogs in the border guard. Number 05, Neapolitan Mastiff. Although the Neapolitan Mastiff is a gentle giant and isn't overly aggressive and impulsive, they are illegal to own in places like Singapore. To own one in Romania, it must pass a psychological evaluation. With its wrinkled face and immense size, it's hard not to notice a Neapolitan Mastiff or dream of owning one. They're thought to have originated from Italy, banner descendants of the Tibetan Mastiff, which could be why they're massive. They may look very daunting, but they're quite calm and good with family and kids if trained properly. A full-grown Neapolitan Mastiff can weigh as much as 200 pounds and can be dangerous. Number 04, Boer-Buell. Boer-Bulls are huge dogs and generally passive in most situations. They were bred to keep lions and hyenas away from cattle, which explains why they're strong and only fight when they have to. A Boer-Buell can smell danger from a mile away due to their natural threat perceptions, and their high prey drive means that they would readily chase after rodents and other smaller animals. Furthermore, they do not do well with toddlers and younger children. Another thing about them is that they're very territorial and take a fight stance anytime a stranger walks into their assumed area. They need a pretty strong owner considering how huge they are in size as well. Number 03, Tosa Inu. The Tosa Inu is another rare breed that remains rare because of its highly aggressive reputation. These dogs were bred in Japan to be nothing but fighting machines. There have been many cases where these dogs turn on their owners, sometimes displaying predatory behavior towards small dogs and even cats. According to Japanese dogfighting rules, dogs shouldn't make any noise, which is why these dogs are literal silent killers. The biggest problem with them is that if they don't have an incredibly disciplined owner, they'll challenge them for the leadership role. So if you're a softie, these are not for you. Number 02, Dogo Argentino. The Dogo Argentino is one of the only dogs that can compete with pit bulls when it comes to sheer aggression. They're quite unpredictable, and that's why they've been banned in Australia, Singapore, Ukraine, and even the United Kingdom. Their main job was to hunt and protect for their family, so it's no surprise they need to be socialized quite early. Otherwise, they won't be able to fit in with other members or dogs. Their dominant tendencies make them a risky pet for inexperienced owners. Number 01, Alaskan Malamute. This beautiful breed might look like the Siberian Husky, but they're much larger than them. They're incredibly strong and can weigh up to 90 pounds. Moreover, they have a ton of energy and love running about for no reason. They're like a dog running on some turbocharged batteries. However, they're not the best listeners, which poses an issue since they have a strong set of jaws and need to be naughty all the time. Some folks see these dogs as athletic and affectionate family pets. Training them at a young age is the only way to tame them. Otherwise, they can get too much to handle.